Madam, madam. Sucede, ¿no?
Good morning, everyone. One last photograph before we begin our graduation service. I welcome you for this commencement service, and we are going to begin it with prayer. I want you to join me in prayer. I watched last year's video, and in the video when I said let's pray, and I was seeing people are adjusting their clothes and looking here and there. Not for the sake of video, I don't want you to put up a show or something, but for the sake of the sacredness of prayer, please join me. Please join me in prayer. Gracious God, who has called us, each one of us, by name. Today, as the students hear their own names spoken aloud, and as they receive diplomas and certificates of accomplishment, I pray that let them hear a voice from you to receive the purpose and direction in their lives. As they celebrate finishing a chapter of KIS history, and as they continue from this place, I pray that wherever they go, you will go before them. Be their guide, be their mentor, be their father, be their mother, and be their friend. Wherever they go, we speak a blessing that they will find communities, friends, teachers, and mentors who will hold them accountable, who will bless them with their own services, who will give themselves. And also, I pray that wherever they go, they will make new friends and they will accomplish greater heights. As the classes and grading are now complete, I pray that they will strive toward excellence in all they do. As the service concludes today, I pray that they will rise to meet the world and you will strengthen them for that. doing today, I pray that their accomplishments will grow. They will grow in all communities, in all graces that you have kept for them. And I pray that your overwhelming blessing will be upon them today and in the days to come. We, as their teachers, KIS community and parents, we bless them as we send them away from this place. May your grace abide on them. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and a very good morning to you all. It is a pleasure and honor to welcome our special guest of the morning, an institution in himself, Mr. Arvind Swami. It gives me great joy to welcome with immense warmth and pleasure all the parents, families, and guests of our students to this very special ceremony. I would also like to extend a hearty welcome to the members of the KIS Council, Principal Stixrud, and other members of the senior management team, all the KIS teachers, staff, and other guests present here today. Thank you very much, everyone, for gracing this special occasion to recognize and honor our students on their achievements. Today is a bittersweet day. We've gathered here to bid farewell to this special group of young adults who are waiting with indignation and anxiety to leave the portals of this institution and step into a new world. My dear class of 2018, despite some hard tasks, sadness, and grief that you have encountered in the course of your studies at school, at the end of it all, you have completed this part of your journey with beautiful memories and great achievements. Being tough with you at times did not mean that we did not like you, but we wanted to prepare you for a greater challenge ahead and to nurture you to build a strong foundation for your next level. With guidance, you have attained this impressive milestone in your life with great honor and integrity. Today, I'm honored to say that we are proud of your many achievements. Your sweet and fond memories will forever remain in our hearts. My fellow colleagues and I wish to thank you for the uncommon zeal and enthusiasm you have demonstrated towards your studies, in your relationships with your teachers, with the management, with other students, and most of all, among yourselves. Over these years, we have grown together, both you and us. We have battled together, we have fallen together, and we have rejoiced together. You have always been the subject of our actions, the object of our thoughts, and the complement of our endeavors. It is through you that we have learned so much. Yes, you have taught us so much, and we thank you for it. It is through you that we once again experience the joys of school life by being a part of your pranks, by sharing your secrets and your jokes. I am very happy, impressed, and proud to say that you, the class of 2018, leave behind a very respectable and worthy legacy for your juniors and all incoming students to follow. My dear students, as you leave KIS, expect that many challenges await you, and I strongly believe you will surely overcome these challenges. At this point, I want to implore each and every one of you from the class of 2018 to always see yourselves as great ambassadors of KIS and never allow selfish interests to blemish the integrity you have nurtured over the years in this school. Allow the words of your God to guide you on your journey to greatness. Be righteous in your actions and dignified in your ways. Let your words bring happiness to others and your actions bring hope. Be kind and good to people you meet on your way up. They will hold you up when you tumble down. Believe in yourself. Explore your potentials to the extremes and come out with flying colors. Remember what Principal Corey always says, the world needs you. So think big thoughts and be optimistic in whatever you're doing. To quote the legendary American tennis player Arthur Ashe, start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. And sometime in the future, do come back to tell us stories of your success, for in your success lies our lives' fulfillment. So, class of 2018, on behalf of KIS, I welcome you all to your very special day and would also like to bid you farewell and wish you all the very best in all your future endeavors. Thank you. We now have a musical interlude by Yugin Dorji and Aman Shah.
Hey guys, musicians, we really want to hear you, so we're going to let the drums die down a bit because we won't be able to hear the music. So we are going to introduce the valedictorian of the class of 2018. Stay there. And then hopefully the drums will have passed by that time.
Good morning. Good morning, class of 2018. Mr. Corey Strickstud, our principal, chief guest, and parents. The selection of the student chosen to be valedictorian of the graduating class is based on following criteria. He or she must have been in attendance at KIS for at least 3 years, have maintained the highest cumulative grade point average, cumulative GPA, during this period, have exhibited academic integrity throughout this period. Class of 2018 valedictorian can be best described as humble and polite to peers and adults. He or she, I don't know, sets high academic standards personally, always considerative about others. I proudly announce class of 2018 valedictorian Hak Young Kim.
A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. But most importantly, I want to congratulate my fellow classmates from the class of 2018. It is surreal that we all made this far and now we have reached the end. My name is Hakyung and I have been given the honor of delivering this speech, but don't worry, I'll try not take up too much of your time. This moment is very meaningful for me as I took a challenge that I could have passed and it came to fruition. Back to 10th grade, when I was attending at high school in Korea, one day my parents asked me, I will give you a chance which can change your life. It will be challenging and scary, but it will definitely be a turning point in your life. The decision is up to you. We did the research and found some options you might like. Everything is ready, so you just need to make a decision. This was genuinely the only thing they told me without visiting the school or showing me the picture of the school. I'm a person who never try a new flavor in Baskin Robbins because I'm scared of failure most of the time. So I rejected the chance, and after one semester they asked me again, and I thought, why not? So I said, yes, I want to go. I really don't remember why I accepted it, but I think I was scared of the college entry exam, which was in 1.5 years. As the person whose home is not English-speaking country, everything I faced here was challenging and scary. Other than leaving home and parents, talking to people, trying to understand humanity class, raising hands for questions that I know the exact answers, everything was so challenging. The little girl with short hair grew up to be a young adult with long hair, and now I'm standing here after all the fears and challenging. And I know everyone has similar memories which makes this graduation so special and meaningful. And that's the reason why this moment is very special and lovely to me. And while you are thinking of the memory, you will find yourself become a young adult who is ready to be part of this world. It wouldn't have been able to achieve this glorious moment with my peers. We all struggled with the same thing in the same environment. Thus, we know how it is more than anyone else in this world. It wasn't me alone feeling sleepy during exam week. Everyone around me was tired, exhausted, and sleepy. I was not the only one who was being nervous before entering the exam hall. We all shared emotions as we went through the same tasks. This sympathy made us bond, help, and cheer each other over the short 2 years. We grew up together and built the wisdom together. Life is long and unpredictable, and KIS could be just one of the turning points in our life. However, at this moment, I would like to focus on giving us applause and glory. Before we award ourselves with freedom and happiness, we shouldn't forget people who have supported us more than anyone else in this world. That is teachers, staffs, and parents. Be thankful and show your appreciation with smile, hug, and love. That will be enough for their reward. To be honest, I'm not a good public speaker and I don't have wisdoms. But on behalf of class of 2018 and as a valedictorian, I wanted to say how proud we are of ourselves and to say thank you to all who are here to share this special moment with us. And to the class of 2018, all of this knowledge and memory will no doubt be valuable as we go forward in life. As cliche as it may sound, wherever you go, you will end up doing great things in life, and I genuinely mean it. Thank you.
Don't forget your. Good job. Again, and I'm on. How loud can you play? Do it. All right, next we have another musical performance. It is a song composed and sung for the class of 2018, composed by Inesh Krishnamurthy, class of 2018, Ugyen and Aman joining him.
Okay, you guys sing the yellow parts, yeah? And this is the next part. Check. Okay. Can everyone hear the guitar? Because I can't tell. No? Okay. Okay, is that better? Alright, cool. So yeah, before we get started, there's a couple of things I need to say about this song. So I first thought about it, I think last semester when we were talking about our graduation. I mean, graduation was a lifetime away at the time. And we didn't think this day would come. And I said, you know what, why don't I try writing a song for our class? And we had big plans for this. It was hard. It was very hard to write this song because normally, even though I find it easy to write lyrics and to write music, there was nothing I could think of that would do justice to who we are and to the class that we are. And so I remember I sent I don't know how many emails I sent to you guys saying, send me lyric ideas because I don't know what to write. I don't know what I'm going to do. The song is too much for me. But finally, in the end, you guys came through and now we have a song. So yeah, the song is called Season 18. The Abbey-O can come and go, but we are here to stay. There's not a sound, but we're around. Our presence can't decay. And please don't cry if we say goodbye, 'cause you know you're in our hearts. And you'll be proud to see the people that we be 18. Our story starts as the youngest part of community made whole. We'd gladly lie under starry skies and slide down a fire pole. It's been so long, that's where we belong, and we wish we could go back. But we made it here and it's a whole new year. The last good class to ever pass through this foggy, freezing hill. The weather's bad, the food's just sad, but if we can stay, we will. It's hard to leave, but you'd best believe that we'll be back here real soon. Thank you, Cody School, you have made our lives full, yeah. Senior year, yeah, it's good to be here. We've been waiting since day one. The island's called, one of us came back bald, and the Cody Open Cup was won. It's hard to go, you have to know, yeah, the lounge took so long to clean. We made it through and it's a whole new year. the last good class to ever pass through this foggy, freezing hill. The weather's bad, the food's just sad, but if we can't stay, we will. It's hard to leave, but you'd best believe if we can be back real soon. Yeah, thank you, Cody School. We've made our lives full 18. Thank you.
It is my honor and privilege to introduce our chief guest this morning. Arvind Swamy attended school in Chennai at Sisha and Don Bosco School. He received his BCom from Loyola and then entered a master's program in management at Wake Forest University. He trained at the family businesses all over the country in global trade, but he also worked in the shop floor at the factory. In college, he began doing commercials for a little pocket money, and that led him to opportunities in cinema. He has done a number of films that have gone on to win national and international awards. He's been featured in many magazines, including Time magazine, which noted his soulful performance. He took a break from the movie industry in 2000 and started a global process business. He provided process support and designed workflow technology across many verticals, including healthcare, payroll management, and financial services. He was the president of Interpro Global and managing director of ProLease India. In 2005, he founded Talent Maximus India, which is today a company employing over 5,000 people engaged in process management in human resources. He returned to movies in 2013 and has gone on to win many awards again. He has been a singer in some of his films, and he's worked with a few music directors, including A.R. Rahman. He has been a TV host for the Tamil version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and he is expected to have at least 5 films released over the next year, and he will be directing a film this year, which we will look very much forward to. We are blessed to have his presence here at the school, and we know him very well as a parent, a KIS parent of Adira Swamy, and now in the class of 2018, Rudra Swamy, and he's joined as well by his wife Aparna today. So welcome Arvind Swamy to the stage.
Thank you, Mr. Corey, for that flattering introduction. In cinemas, this is what we would call as inappropriate background music. But it's also a life lesson. Many times in life, you would hear a lot of these noises around, but like the musicians, focus on what you're doing and do it well. Respected members of the management on the dais, members of the faculty and staff of KIS, parents, and members of the families of students who are here today, and most importantly, the stars of today, the graduating class of 2018. Good morning to you all. When we look at you, we're all of us here so proud of what you've achieved. Especially all of you in identical attire. When I see you all in identical attire, I also need to talk about how your individuality is the key to your success. You've all crossed an important milestone, some with ease and some with some amount of difficulty, but nevertheless, you're all here today, graduating, and so congratulations. As you grow older, more milestones are waiting to be crossed, and they will be crossed. But what you will see when you look back, or what you need to see when you look back, is the journey that has brought you there. the people who have walked with you, the victories, the challenges, and that, my young friends, would be the education that will again take you forward. Knowledge is not the million facts and data that you study in your academic endeavors. It is the conclusions that you derive from it, the essence of what you study. And knowledge is what will remain when you forget maybe the data and the finer details. When I was at school, I liked a few subjects, just like all of you, and didn't like some others. Organic chemistry, for example, was one, which never, which I could never really get going at. Acetic acid, when heated to 440 degrees, gives you methane and carbon dioxide. I never knew why I wanted to learn that, but I had to learn that. But the fact that I wanted to do well and get good grades made me memorize the whole textbook. In order to do that, I had to create my own methodology. I had to create my own language. So the equation, to remember this equation, so the equation would be, in my language, K3Cu, heat, K4, CO2, which is K3Cu is CH3COOH, acetic acid, CH4 was methane, and CO2 was carbon dioxide. So we all innovate, find ways to meet and get over our challenges, which you will have to do and continue to do as you go through life. In order to know what I wanted to do, I needed to know what I did not want to do, like organic chemistry, for example. And just like you, I would complain about the fact that I had to learn things that I thought were not relevant at the time. But structured education with mandatory subjects in the syllabi actually makes you aware of the things maybe that you don't want to do, and maybe makes you choose the things that you need to do. It also educates you on things that you might have to use later on in life with the opportunities that life provides you. We can never be sure of what opportunities come our way. Like the one call that I got for a movie audition. If I were not as adventurous, I would not have taken that call. I would not have attended the audition. And I would have lost on the opportunity to be exposed to the wonderful world of cinema that I embarked on. Adventurous because I was not even trained to attempt it, but I did. Because I wanted to find out what I could do and what I couldn't. I realized that most of the things that I've embarked on in life, I did so because I have no fear of failure. I'm not weighed down by the fact that I could be ridiculed, I could be mocked by people who are actually inconsequential to my life. And a lot of them do that. And they are the people who haven't been adventurous. They have not tried different things. And as a result, have not even realized their own potentials and addressed the possibilities that the world has to offer. No one can realize your capabilities better than yourself. And the discovery of that, as well as so many things in this world, is based on the fact that something more is out there than what actually exists. No amount of academic training can perfectly prepare you for the real world opportunities. You will have to learn on the job, strategize, you'll have to innovate, and most importantly, you'll have to persevere. I went on to do many films. I went on to also start some tech-based global businesses. What I did was I tried to use my life's learning. For example, I used the learning that I had in the movies, which was about hard work, discipline, creativity, and I used that to cross-pollinate it to grow my businesses. So the first step in any learning process, I believe, is to accept the fact that you don't know. Accept the fact that you are ignorant in a lot of things. And that acceptance will lead you to ask questions. And those questions will give you the answers that will give you the knowledge to take your career or your academic endeavors forward. There's no shame in saying that I don't know. And unless you say that, you will not put in the effort to listen, you will not put in the effort to learn, and you will succumb to the ego that blinds you. As you move through life, realize your fears and address them. I remember till a few years ago, believe it or not, I could act in front of a crowd of 5,000 people, do silly things like maybe dance around on the roads or make a spectacle of myself, and I would not be, actually the crowd would be blurred in my vision. I would not even realize that they're there. But I could not get on a stage and speak in front of a crowd. I had stage fright. But being in the public eye, I was thrown into situations in which I had to address audiences and I needed to speak. I was so frightened that for a few days before the speaking engagement, I couldn't sleep and I would be really restless. With a little encouragement from my wife, who is clearly biased that I speak well, I decided to accept every speaking opportunity that came my way just to overcome that fear. And that's why when Anu said, "Would you speak today?" I gladly said yes. I did not think twice, because this to me again is a process to improve myself. Life will throw challenges, and you can only overcome them with optimism. You cannot succumb to the fear. You will not be able to overcome them with fear. To give you an instance, about a decade ago, I met with an accident and I was partially paralyzed and I could not even take 10 steps. The only thing that I wanted to do at that point in time was to make sure that I had a clear mind to address the situation and to find a solution. So I decided that I would occupy my brain by playing chess online, by doing mathematical problems, so that it does not have any energy left at the end of the day for self-pity. So the only thing that stood in my way, and in time, of course, I found some solutions to my problems, and I got better. And I realized at that point in time that with these challenges, with these problems that life will throw at you in unexpected times, from different angles, from different sides, the only thing that stands in your way to find a solution is time. And the effort that you put in, the physical and the mental effort that you put in to find a solution determines that time. And when you find life in order again after these challenges, don't look back and remember the pain. Look forward. Look at the fact that you have overcome something and feel proud of it. For someone who could not even walk 10 steps, a few years later, I ran 3 half marathons. Just with the fact in my mind that, I've come a long way and I could go further. I also want to share with you a story that the actor Mr. Rajinikanth shared with me. He said there was, a lot of frogs at the foot of the hill, and apparently it needed to climb and cross over the hill in order to survive. And a few of them, the adventurous ones, started climbing the hill, and a lot of them who were pessimistic, who stayed behind, kept shouting that, don't do that and it's not worth it and things like that. But some of the frogs knew that they had to cross over that hill. And a few of them, as they were climbing, kept looking back and went back, and there was one which kept going and reached the summit. And when they asked one another as to how he managed to do that, it was known that the frog was a little hard of hearing. So he did not hear all the negative comments that the frogs at the base of the hill were shouting to discourage this particular frog from reaching. So a lesson from that is, as you go through life, there will be a lot of forces that try and pull you back. As long as you know that you are right and it helps you focus better, do that and you will attain success. As you move on, I wish all of you great success in your academic endeavors, in your personal life and your professional lives. Be happy and try to spread that happiness around to the world around you. To all the parents and the family members of students here today, I would like to appreciate all our emotional investments that we have made on these children, all the sacrifices that you've all made, that we've made. And as a parent of a graduating student, and this is like Principal Corey said, this is my second time here, I know that it'll all be okay. To all the members of the KIS, faculty and staff, I thank you for taking good care of our children. Thank you for the education. In this case, I thank you for the guidance and support. And for the one who graduated 4 years ago, I thank you for the patience and tolerance. As a parent, I realize that it's not my only duty to protect the children. It is my duty to get them ready for the world around. Bad background score. As a parent, I thought that my only duty was not to take care The fireworks are supposed to go off after I finish. But as a parent, I realized that my only duty was not to protect my children, but to actually get them ready and prepare them for the world. That includes providing them with an opportunity to discover themselves, to allow them an environment in which to build confidence. And that, to me, ladies and gentlemen, has been KIS. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Arvind. And now Jane J. Kumar on the piano. parents, staff, alumni who have joined us, friends of KIS, other relatives, class of 2018, welcome to the end. Gosh, last night's baccalaureate service, Nari, William, Sharon, Jane, you each had us at hello, made us cry a little bit. Mr. Curry and Alex, Sangeeta, you were both given a lot of talents and you returned them many-fold, let me tell you. So many staff to mention, so many thank yous. I couldn't include everyone. Miss Anuradha, most of all, for organizing grad and for all of the grade 12 sponsors and advisors. The food service for the dinner last night and the maintenance departments. Our music department is so talented. Look around you and see the beautiful decorations for today. Miss Saji, Mr. Roy, the whole team who put that together. I don't know how you make the cover courts look so beautiful every single year, but last night and today, absolutely amazing. Let's hear it for those staff dancers last night. Too good. Had everyone on their feet. Parent Rose Marias, who blessed us with her talk last night. There's a special place in our hearts for Rose and Walter. Wonderful to hear them. Grade 12 parents, last night was really the first chance I had to meet some of you, but so many of you I've met over the years, and you've become what I hope are lifelong friends. So we say goodbye, but hopefully not forever. I hope you'll be back in Cody and know that this is your home too. You are honorary KIS alumni forever, for sure. So grateful to all of you for making KIS a remarkable place to be. Humbled today to be in the presence of greatness, Mr. Arvind Swamy. Thank you for your thought-provoking words this morning. So this is it, class of 2018. Someone told me to use last year's speech, but I already did that last year. So these are fresh notes. Sorry. I've told you this before, and I think it's only fair to say this now in front of your parents and loved ones. You've been a tremendous group of people in all different sorts of ways, in your studies, obviously, in activities, in leadership. We live streamed the service last night, and a lot of people all over the world were watching. A council member, Mr. Kochar from Delhi, wrote this to me last night. He said, I vividly remember the dinner with the seniors on 24th of April. Remember that, the alumni induction dinner? He said, I interacted with at least 30 students from the class of 2018. I was amazed at their confidence levels and clear goals that they have chosen for themselves to accomplish. I am confident they will succeed in whatever path they choose and make KIS proud. See, you've already made us proud because people are writing about you already. You've generally been so dang smart and mature and just interesting people, and I really appreciate that. I won't say it's always been easy, but it's been a lot of fun, truly. I was thinking back to perfect moments over the course of the last year, as well as just your time here, and maybe perfect moments is an unfair phrase, but just really cool or at least really surreal moments that we've shared, like cows and goats and water balloons, at senior prank, backdoor negotiations, hearing you speak at Senior Sunday and at Baccalaureate, hearing you sing and play all sorts of instruments, and so many other events. Just a few months ago, a few of you called and said, hey, listen, we want to discuss changing assessment policy at KIS. It's too late for us, but we want to change what it looks like for those who follow us. And it was just an absolutely fabulous moment as an administrator when students come in a serious way with their concerns and share it with the school. Earlier this semester, on a lighthearted note, there was I think, what was it called, KFL match? And some of you decided that, it was really well organized by the students, and they even did commentary. And they were doing it in this brilliant English or Scottish accent. It was like, right, there's Ojas Tamrakar, God's gift to football. Slots the ball through to Aman, who pokes it home. Amazing, fantastic. And useful shot that, useful. I made that up, but something like that you were saying. And I was standing with Commander Ashwin, and we were just soaking up and enjoying the moment of being with bright, funny young people who were just enjoying themselves. These are just a few of those moments, and I'm sure you as a class have so many more, but it's moments like that strung together that make up a good life. So make moments, make moments. I was gonna say this earlier, Hakyung, congratulations. She did not know she was giving a speech until we told her she was the valedictorian last night. So I just wanted to point that out as well. Very polished, wonderful. You are a good public speaker. Well done. So it's left for me, after all of the assemblies and all of the talks and everything you've been through, even this weekend, it's left to me to think of something to say, perhaps, that hasn't been said, and to make sure that we as a school haven't left anything important on the table. I'm trying to remember what it's like to be at your age. I was on the same stage as you are many years ago, but I'm trying to remember what it feels like to be sitting where you're sitting right now, and to see things through the eyes of young people. And you know, that's the job of educators, to try to see things from your perspective so that we can teach better. But we try, but it's really, really hard. So I thought I'd try to turn that equation around and share an important truth about growing older from an adult perspective. This summer I turned 50 years old on the exact same day that my dad turns 80 years old. So I think I can speak from the perspective of an older adult, and I'll speak for myself as well as my dad because he's 80, so I'll speak for him too. Adults, this is the truth. Adults don't know much more than you know, right? We're a little more polished, and maybe we have a little bit more knowledge, and maybe we have advanced degrees that look good on a wall, but we're still just kids in suits and ties most of the time. We're still insecure, we can still be petty, we can still be proud. We can miss the most important things in life in favor of other things because we can also be selfish and unthinking, and sometimes we can be unkind and we can be stupid. It's like the singer John Mayer sang in the first song that was a hit. He said, "I'm gonna run through the halls of my high school, I'm gonna scream at the top of my lungs. I just found out there's no such thing as the real world, just a lie you have to rise above." And I don't know, here's the thing, whatever you think the real world is for you, what we as adults have that you don't have much of yet is experience. Experience. In so many ways. So don't chase after money or fame or self-gratification just yet. Chase after experiences that will enrich you. Do crazy things and meaningful and creative and unpredictable things. Travel. Volunteer to work with people who are less fortunate than you. Take advantage of college and take classes that just sound interesting, that may not even be in your prescribed course of studying, but just things you're interested in. I just thought of it actually, but another thing that adults have that you don't have, children, right? We had you. I mean, they had you, right? And when you have children, I think you experience love on a whole different level. Just wait. But I digress. Take your time to experience as much as you can. And when you find your passion, and it could be, maybe you found it, and it could be next year or in 4 years or in 20 years, experience every facet of your passion. You will not last long in that corner office or that director's chair if you haven't put in the time and effort and focus to understand every angle of what it is you want to do. Find your passion and revel in it, become an expert in it. This is important too. Do it with kindness and do it with humility. Please. The world can be cruel at times, and you will fail at times, and there will be competing drummers outside the gates at times. But look for the best in every person, even if you don't want to. Don't seek gain for yourself when it unfairly causes harm to someone else. Be confident, be assertive, but don't be cruel and don't be vain. There's a quote from the book of Hebrews, which was written thousands of years ago. In Hebrews chapter 13, I love this, it says, "Do not forget to entertain strangers, for by so doing, some people have entertained angels without knowing it." Don't forget to entertain strangers, for by so doing, some people have entertained angels without knowing it. It always pays to be kind, and it pays to imagine that every person you meet is an angel. Michael Dell, who founded Dell Computers, says something wise. He says, "Never try to be the smartest person in the room." He says, "If you are, I suggest you invite smarter people or find a different room." He adds to that, "We are all gifts to each other, and my own growth as a leader has shown me again and again that the most rewarding experiences come from relationships. So experience life, be kind, be humble, form and appreciate strong relationships." My favorite quote that I'll share today is from one of my favorite authors, Anne Lamott, who says this about perspective and maturing and growing older. She says, "It's funny, I always imagined when I was a kid that adults had some kind of inner toolbox full of shiny tools. The saw of discernment, the hammer of wisdom, the sandpaper of patience. But then when I grew up, I found that life handed you these rusty, bent old tools: friendships, prayer, conscience, honesty, and said, do the best you can with these. They will have to do. And mostly against all odds, they do." I've had a number of epiphanies this year as a principal and as an educator, and I wanted to share these with you. Hang in there, we're almost done. I was on a plane a few months ago from Singapore, sitting with the vice principal of Woodstock School, and you know educators are always talking about education. Talking about what does it all mean and why are we educating our students, what are we educating them for, fret, technology, pace of change, smartphones, 21st century problems, yada, yada, yada. And at some point in the conversation, I grabbed his arm and I said, wait, I have the answer to all of these questions. I said, I was on my way to Delhi actually to take part in an awards ceremony for a KIS student who was being nationally recognized for a service project in bringing financial literacy to the masses. And I said, the answer is about giving our students authentic experiences. That's the answer. Give your students authentic experiences. And I later crafted a whole speech about applying classroom knowledge to social service projects and social entrepreneurialism. So really, when you are using what you know to improve the lives of others or to improve systems or technology or care of the elderly, whatever it is, you are definitely learning and thinking and gaining experience that will serve you and others well in the future. You've become engaged in higher order thinking. Parents, now that all the tuition bills have been paid, I'll share another truth. For all the dedicated teachers that educate your students, right? All the fancy IB curricula and the scope and sequence and horizontal and vertical alignment of subjects and topics, all the assessments that we do. Your education doesn't mean much, and it isn't worth much if you thought it was only about gaining knowledge. I'll echo what Mr. Swami said, right? It's not just about knowledge. Think back to the last exam you took last week and be super honest with yourself, class of 2018, or the last exam anyone here took, right? How much of it do you really remember? How much of the subject is still in your heads, right? Sheepish looks. Learning is or should be about building experiences that allow you to understand the world and find your passion. Mr. Santosh and I went to Japan over a year ago, and we were at this conference. We met this amazing guy named Yang Zhao. Yang Zhao walked into the conference facility. We were kind of standing by the door. He just walked in. He said, he came in. He said, I'm just arrived off the plane from Oregon in the US. He's a professor there. He said, I'm the keynote speaker in an hour. Would you like a beer? Could we get a beer somewhere? Could we talk? And Mr. Sandosh and I, of course, administrators at KIS, said, oh, no, of course not. But he's this amazing guy, and we attended his keynote speech and talked to him. His parents are still illiterate farmers, peasants in China, and he's a professor, Oregon, and professor of education. And in his keynote speech, and in his book that he wrote later, that's called World-Class Learners, Educating Creative and Entrepreneurial Students, he's really started to change what I believe about education, right? He claims that schools and modern curricula are geared to educate good employees rather than strong entrepreneurs and free thinkers. That we slowly squeeze the creativity out of you as you get older, as you go through school, so that your very natural creative impulses, your intrinsic passions, and maybe your dreams as well become subverted and changed and diminished. You've read the stories, right, about Bill Gates and other people, famous people who didn't go to college, they just followed their dream and they were successful. Yang Zhao starts his book talking about a young man named Suhas Gopinath from Bangalore who started as a web developer when he was 13. And he created his own company, and now he's the youngest CEO of a multi-million-dollar company. He never went to school. The point is not that school is irrelevant, God forbid. The point is that the role of schools has to change in fundamental ways to create students with all the right skills and knowledge and experience to forge your own lives. Schools need to offer strong curriculum in the subjects, but they should also be offering, strong music programs, social and environmental experience programs. Some of this may start to sound familiar. Maybe drama, design, art. Schools should be looking out for the emotional well-being of their students and offer health courses and physical education courses and religious education courses. To develop competent individuals, schools should be based around relationships and community. Schools should give their students ample platforms to be social entrepreneurs and change agents. Organizing TED events, for instance, writing and composing school songs, doing the play-by-play at football matches in Scottish accents, or creating financial literacy programs for the people of Cody. Schools should be just zany and different enough where a number of staff dress up in masks and perform a flash mob at the end of the graduation dinner. Oh wait, I'm describing KIS. Thank you. I think, all things considered, is that what you'll remember about KIS is that we both nurtured you but also hopefully gave you room to grow. That we didn't completely stifle your personalities, your imagination, your curiosity, but that we helped you grow into the individuals that you were meant to be. Nothing is more satisfying, I said this earlier, but nothing is more satisfying to a principal or an administration when students approach us with ideas. I don't mean complaints about phone policies or off-campus timings or that the weather is bad and the food is sad, according to the song, whatever that was. But real ideas that are presented with clarity and foresight and vision and in the spirit of service and improvement. Class of 2018, this has been you. This is what you've done and what you've given us. Yesterday, you received an email actually 2 emails. Use the second link, okay? It's a feedback form because we honestly value, class of 2018, what you want to tell us about your experience here. And on that form, we also ask you, if you're fairly focused right now, you have a field of study, if you would like us to try and locate a mentor just to touch base with you from time to time, an alumni or a friend of KIS that would be more than happy, who's an expert in their field, who could just be there for you, to be in touch with you, to be a guide or a sounding board for you. We hope you take advantage of the greater Cody school community that will be your community for the rest of your lives. Please do. So class of 2018, farewell. We wish you well. We love you very much and we'll miss you. But it's time to go. As I say to every graduating class, and to paraphrase Emily Dickinson, you have delighted us for long enough. God bless.
My job really isn't to say anything other than your names, but I've been debating adding one more thing and decided to go for it. Last night there was a tongue-in-cheek comment that we danced because we were glad to see you go. That's not why we danced. We danced to celebrate with you, to say we appreciate you, that we are glad you have been part of KS, and we hope you go on to dance wherever you go. Thank you. Rohan Sanjit. You can start. Mishika Parikh. Siddharth Gupta. Teha Kim. They're trying to make it hard for me. They've changed seating order. Wei Su Jung. Jigme Penjor. Nadia Khan. So Yun Kim. Sharon Lucas. Mary Kurian. Future Broadway star. Jemima Josharaj. Sail Lee. Siddharth Balakrishnan, Rudra Swami, Akash Viragama, Mikhail Moraes, Dev Salarka, Koichi Abe, Blessing David Arulraj, Ratish Singh, Elizabeth Lebach, I think about half of them changed their order, so Mr. Kailash and me are having to do some juggling here as they walk up. I think that's the end of the first row. Kiko Yokota, if the next of you can start sliding your way over, it'll help things. Samantha Mitra, Maithili Srinivasan, Nari Lee, Mohammed Musvi, Rithvik Rao, Inesh Krishnamurthy, Krishang Nagauda, Ayush Banja, Bensinlo Lauren, Dipanshi Sharma, Dina Joseph Anandraj, Orinvungi Nguli, Surya Rajamurugan, Dorothy Lalunzuali. Ugyen Dorji. Rohan Desai. Soham Shukla. Parthiv Dedesanya. Raj Doshi. Ephraim Michael. William George. Find your seats. Watch your ushers. Sorry, I should have said that in the other order. Next row, watch your ushers. Vijay Malaichami. Caleb Balaraju. Joshika Dantalurui. Malhar Sa. Alexandra Van Hill. Aman Van Hill. Karthayani Satyamurthy. Murthy. Sandhya Rajendran. Vikram Sudan Mutavel. Sangmo Kim. Hak Young Kim. Pilmo Ku. Kimberly Muse. Letai Silvera. Anshula Tiwari. Amrita Biju. Aman Shah. Aryan Shrestha. Srishti Goswami. Rekha Gomelar. Pranesh Suresh. Jishnu Murthy. Okay, this time I'll give the reminder in the right order. Watch your ushers, but check your chair so you know you're sitting in the right place. Wait for them to signal. You're not waiting. Check behind you that you've got a chair. Pema Jamcho. Lima Sunup Longchari. Jindamani Kanobtam Makul. Samyukta Vaijanath. Vaijanath. Kahyun Ho. Sharmin Karcha. Shakuntala Ramnath. Jacob Louis. Subrajit Das. Yugansh Agarwal. Dhruv Sharma. Sahil Chamdia. Long Sen Long Kumhar. Ojash Tamrakar. Nina Dang. Shaya Pillai. Devika Kejriwal. Jane Paul Jaikumar. Sang-hyuk Lee. Tirunetra Gupta. Sanya Kera. Ha Young Yoon.
And now I believe the class of 2018 has a song for us. Was that the song?
Find my truth. I just wanna say thank you.
Leaving to find my soul. Told her I had to go. And I know it ain't pretty when our hearts get broke. Too young to feel this old. Watching us both turn cold. And I know it ain't pretty when two hearts get broke. Oh, I know it ain't pretty when two hearts get broke. I hope someday we'll sit down together and laugh with each other about these days, these days. All our troubles we'll lay to rest and we'll wish we could come back to these days, these days.
To show for it now. And I know it ain't pretty when the fire burns out. Calling me when I'm drunk, remind me of what I've done. And I know it ain't pretty when you're trying to move on. Yeah. I hope someday we'll sit down together and laugh with each other about these days, these days.
living at now. I heard you moved to Austin, got an apartment and settled down. And every once in a while, I start texting, write a paragraph, but then I delete the message.
And now a vote of thanks given by Kailas Tahaliani, class co-sponsor.
Good morning, distinguished guests, SMT members, staff and students. I can imagine this morning when these students wore their gowns for the first time while wondering how to wear their motorboats without getting their hair upset. I wonder whether the importance of this occasion would have struck them. Today marks the end of years of study and training at KIS. Education is rather like farming. Educators are the farmers. We till the ground, plant the seed, lovingly water it each day, and wait patiently for the crop to grow. Today is the day of fruition. Today, the crop is in full bloom. One has to ensure it gets the water and nutrients it needs to sprout into something more, something further. Today, I would like to thank all the gardeners who have taken care of our seeds, our students to blossom so beautifully. On behalf of the KIS family, I would like to thank each and every person who has contributed towards nourishing them, nurturing them. First of all, thanks to Mr. Arvind Swami for being here and sharing your thoughts with us. It was really inspiring. Thanks to the parents for providing the essential nutrients of love, gratitude, and the trust that is the most important thing that you had in your child. Thank you, teachers, for watering and blessing them with all that a seed need to grow and develop. The knowledge, the patience, the guidance, and the direction. I especially thank all the dorm parents for providing all the love, care, and warmth a child requires to grow and blossom. I would like to thank all our senior management team and coordinators for their support and to see the value of every moment we have at the school. Thanks music department for giving life to this event. Cooking is love made edible. Thank you food services for delicious food. At the end of the day, we are happy to be safe and secure, aren't we? Thanks to the security department for your support and services. Thank you travel department for your assistance and the required traveling arrangements. Thanks to KISCO department and housing department for the hospitality towards all the guests. Thanks to the activity department to be active and enthusiastic for the event. Thank you IT department for giving your expertise. Thanks to the finance department, careers department, and the dish for supporting the students in all the possible ways. Tons and tons of thanks to the maintenance department, operational and support staff for all your efforts and understanding our requirements, putting this event into the reality. I request everyone, please give them a big round of applause. A special word of thanks to the graduation committees, which includes all the advisors and staff members from various departments, and also some of the students for their time, effort, and for managing each and everything right from entry to exit. Thank you, class of 2018, for being such a wonderful batch. We are all proud of you. As Mr. Corey told, by joining the community, you are not alone. You are supported by a global community of people who will always be there for you whenever you need them. I'd like to thank KIS community for being together and progressing together. Most of all, I'd like to thank God for helping us to get to this point in our academic year. And last but not the least, Seasons 18, keep going! Wish you all the best and good luck to each one of you. Now, you are no longer our students. Yes, you are no longer our students. But you are our alumni. Thank you.
All right, could we all rise for the school song? The lyrics are simple. It's whether Asian, Australian, North or South American, European, African, or Arabian, we belong to you in our hearts and spirits too. We are proud of you, Cody School. Cue the music. Is there no music? We need an announcement right now. Just to remind them to pick up their books that they purchased. Exhibition that is missing. Whether Asian, Australian, North or South American, European, African, or Arabian, we belong to you in our hearts and spirits too. We are proud of you, Cody School. One more time. They're Asian, Australian, South American, European, African, or Arabian. We belong to you in our hearts and spirits too. We are proud of you, Cody School. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2018.